had about one more minute, you know what I'm saying?
Got a lot of living to do before I die, and I ain't got no time to waste. Let's make
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36. Have mercy upon us, O Lord God of all, and behold us, and send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee. Lift up thy hand against the strange nations, and let them see thy power. As thou wast sanctified in us before them, so be thou magnified among them before us, and let them know thee, as we have known thee, that there is no God but only thou, O God. Shew new signs, and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. Raise up indignation and pour out wrath. Take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. Make the time short. Remember the covenant, and let them declare thy wonderful works. Let him that escapeth be consumed by the rage of the fire, and let them perish that oppress the people. Smite the son of the heads of the rulers of the heathens that say, there is none other but we. Gather all the tribes of Jacob together and inherit thou them, as from the beginning, O Lord. Have mercy upon the people that is called by thy name, and upon Israel, whom thou hast named thy firstborn. O be merciful unto Jerusalem, thy holy city, the place of thy rest. Fill Zion with thine unspeakable oracles, and thy people with thy glory. Give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning, and raise up prophets that have been in thy name. Reward them that wait for thee, and let thy prophets be found faithful, O Lord. Hear the prayer of thy servants according to the blessing of Aaron over thy people, that all they which dwell upon the earth may know that thou art the Lord, the eternal God. Yahweh name we pray, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Today's class, the black Europeans, or Edomites, turned the Israelites into indentured servants born out of ignorance.
That's what you see in the truth today. Shalom, shalom, giving our praise to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh. You're going to see that Israel are homeborn slaves. You're going to find out that we never knew the truth. If they didn't teach us nothing about Christ, what part of history they going to teach us that's true?
Bring it out.
And you're going to find out today we was not 99% in Africa. This is crazy. And you're going to find out later on this year, they can't find one slave ship.
Bring it out.
See, they'll tell you they went to Alabama, some suck under some muddy water, and they brung up a piece of burnt wood. These guys, they'll stake they home on that. They'll stake their life on these things, man, that they can't prove. You can't prove to me someone came over here in that kind of condition on a ship, but I'm going to prove to you how they bamboozle you, just like you're going to find out how these Israelites bamboozling you. Let's start out with this one, man, reading, man. Reading. We're gonna be blistering through here today. Read that out.
Reading. Reading in whatever medium is nourishment for the mind, heart, and soul. And the thoughtful mind seeks constant nourishment.
Some of us, we don't want to pick up this book, man. Some of us, we don't pick up nothing.
That's right.
All our information comes from the television, gossip. It don't come from you researching. And this is why I know that these Israelites they're not researching nothing. They're just going on base with somebody else. They regurgitating what others said.
That's right.
Ain't none of them prove nothing.
Right.
You can't even find me a precept for Deuteronomy 28:68. But see, they get mad as hell when you come out. It's like their chemistry and their mind just go crazy. It doesn't compute. Because what you're going to see is, even though they might be reading their Bible, it's still sealed.
That's right.
Keep reading.
Nourishment is essential for survival.
Let me tell you something. How do we survive in this wicked kingdom? We need everybody stepping up. But the thing is, no one want to step up. But read.
In that sense, that switched off mind that will not read might be considered to be dying.
Let me tell you something. You're just a dying soul, man. What good are you? You cannot just rely on Google's, YouTube, and others.
Bring it out.
You're going to have to find things for yourself. This is one thing you're going to find in this truth. All these guys, they did no research. They go do no fact checking. They don't go do anything. It's just like the Christianity church. That's how the truth is.
Right.
Like I said, you got a Superman in the Christianity church. You got Superman in the Israelite. These cats, we're going to be, look up in the sky. I was telling my wife, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's an Israel nigga up there. Thinking y'all going to be flying around, man. This is showing you how base our peoples are. Read on.
The motivation to read, to learn, to analyze, to be engaged in the world and in issues of the day and the lives of others, including essential family and friends, should be a key element in driving the will to live.
Let me tell you something, man. That's one thing you'll see our people, they slothful in reading. They don't want to do anything. They want to watch a video.
That's right.
They want somebody to tell them. I'm going to tell you something. When you start reading, man, it start doing something to your mind.
That's right.
It start reading, it start building you up spiritually. Read on.
Even those who are physically incapacitated can read.
Somebody sitting around with no legs can read. Everybody can read. That's what you'll find now. That's why we're not moving forward. We ain't got nobody over here breaking down the laws of the land. We ain't got nobody breaking down the food, what's in the ingredients. We ain't got nobody want to do nothing. Everybody want to do the same thing.
Bring it out.
They want to do the easy way. They want the easy way. We ain't got people that want to step up and learn what a lawyer does. We don't got nobody want to do the CPA. We don't got people that want to do these things. Unless they're getting paid.
Thanks.
That's the only way they'll do something, man. They figuring like, I got to get paid. Sometimes you got to understand. Sometimes you got to give something.
Right.
And you got talents. A lot of us won't even use them. But read.
The Bible is worth reading.
It is worth reading, man. Read.
Nourishment for the body or entity is an analogous. Without it, the organism will die. Guaranteed.
Let me tell you something, man. How many educated folks you see running around here that's still dying? They don't read all the wicked books they wanted, went through all the college they went through. We need people to start picking up on things to help advance our nation.
That's right.
And just like in this truth, no one want to go research history to line it up with the word. We want to go by what a man, let me tell you something. I was in there in the comments. I said, man, I'm pulling back. I see these people's broke. And when I say they broke, I ain't talking about their pocket. I'm talking about their mind. They mind toe up, man, from the flow up. For them to run over there, not even watch the video or title offends them. Keep reading.
As to reading, it's a choice.
That's all it is. Read.
For those who wish to stagnate, vegetate, disconnect from the world, stop reading.
Read on.
Also, stop looking out at the world with curiosity, involvement, and responsibility. Intellectual, emotional, and spiritual death will surely follow. Will the body start to die too? We will all die. It is also true, if you start reading, you start dying.
Let me tell you something. You'll start letting go of this world. That's what you see a lot of people, man. They come in this truth. They on fire, and it was all smoke. See, if you ain't hating, you ain't got the spirit of the world. This truth don't go down good no more. You gotta have that. I seen a man that one West die. You a die of a man-made doctrine.
Bring it out.
This is showing you that these cats and all you see is they attacking each other. See, they not gonna go and break a class down. They can't go break our class down. It's above their pay grade. I'm telling you the truth. It's above their pay grade. They just have to talk. You know how it is. Somebody want to try to bring you down to their level. All they do is run their mouth. Read on now.
You start dying the day start reading.
And the day you start reading, you start spiritually coming alive. Your soul right now, man, is dead. Because you don't want to do nothing. Read on.
Nothing happens when you don't read. Nothing. You stay the same.
You see a lot of people that come in the truth, they don't read, they stop reading. I've talked to many brothers that don't left out the doors or gone. What happened? They stopped reading. They stopped believing. That's all it is.
That's right.
They stopped believing. Give me this other letter. That's American slavery. Read that out.
American slavery, the truth. People think they know everything about slavery in the United States.
Everybody know everything because guess what? Find me a picture of a ship over there. They thinking they know everything. And let me tell you something. All they got is imagery. Let me tell you something. They got an image of a ship. We was on it. They got an image of George Washington. He was a so-called white man. All they give people are images. These showing you who starts out with imagery. Babies. Babies start out with imagery. That's who started out with imagery. Babies. So they still got us on this imagery. They can't find one ship. How can you? I got paperwork, they said they had over 11,000. So where did they go? Where did they go? Show me one real picture up there. And who would be laying down in a ship like this for 3 months? Keep going down, all you got is, look at this, man. Keep going down. Show me something real up there. All they got is fake imagery, man. Hold up, pause right. Who gonna be laying down like this for 3 or 4 months in a hot place? People pissing and doo-dooing everywhere. All the infections they would have. Show us where the food was on the ship. Show us where they stored the water. Show us where they prepared the food.
Bring it out.
See, they can't show you nothing. All they can do is they got an image in their head. They got an image in their head, man, and they run with it.
That's right.
They run with it. Keep going down. Show me somewhere where they had anything that they had reserved, anything. Wait, hold up, Paul, bring it. Where do the ship people sleep at? Where their quarters at? But they'll come after you, man, because you got wisdom and knowledge. They'll come after you, man. They hate that, man. Keep reading, See him. Oh, you waiting on him?
But they don't. They think the majority of African slaves came to the American colonies, but they didn't.
They did, man. Tell them to show you some documentation. They can't find it. Tell them to show you anything.
Bring it out.
Tell them to give you a ship captain name. Someone that kept records. They can't find nothing, man. All it is just Houdini. See, lies upon lies. This is how they go to these corners, man. And read Deuteronomy 28:48. Where do you get your food from, man? Is that really talking about food, or is that talking about information?
Bring it out. Bring that out.
Your water. How do you think somebody indoctrinates you? Deuteronomy 48 is talking about that. And once he take the yoke off your neck, you dumb as you are in this truth. Keep reading.
They talk about 400 years of slavery, but it wasn't.
Show me. I thought they got freed in 1865. If they came over here in 2018, that's only 265 plus years. This is sad, man. And where did they get that from? Genesis. They got that from Genesis 15. The 400 years. See, they don't understand. That is talking about when Abraham went into Israel, went into that land first. They wasn't even in Egypt 400 years in hard bondage. Lies upon lies. Read up.
They claim all Southerners owned slaves.
They claim everybody. Everybody was that's why they go out here and hate on these people, man. Probably ain't never done nothing to them in their life. Gave them a job. They don't hate on them, do they? Do y'all really go hate on your boss? When you're in the hospital and you're sick, do you hate on the doctor? Do you call him the devil then? Do you tell him he can't be saved? You cats are some pretenders, man. That's right. When you sitting in front of that judge, do you call him the white devil?
Bring it out.
See,
bring that out.
These are pretenders, man, with fringes on, man.
That's right.
Yeah, keep coming after me. You're going to get your name called out. I keep telling you. I'm one of them ones, I dig your information up. Keep reading, huh?
They claim all Southerners owned slaves, but they didn't.
Read on.
Some argue it was all a long time ago, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. You still an indentured servant today. That's what we were, indentured servants. And I'm going to prove it today. I'm going to prove how you got on them ships, man. Give me Acts 2 and 1. I'm going to start there. Start with the Pentecost, man. Let's see, we were just all up in Africa. See, the thing is, they don't go to the word, man. They just go with a ship. And they don't got no person name on them ships. What location did they come from? Matter of fact, Matthias, do you got that email I sent you last week? I don't know if you got it. I think I texted to you. I want you to pull it up about one of those areas. I'm gonna show you that it wasn't no ship. It wasn't no ship depots down there, man. Slave depots waiting on slaves to be picked up. It's all lies, man. army forts, man, just like they did when they did the Holocaust, man. They went into them buildings and transformed them to make it look like they were burning them.
That's right.
But they had bathrooms in them. They had holes underneath the door. They went up, cut the lights out. They had theaters over there. See, I know it.
No, I don't have an email in my messages.
Don't worry about it. Read this out.
Acts chapter 2 and verse 1. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place.
One accord in one place. They had one faith. Read.
And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as a rushing mighty wind.
It was the breath of life, man, the perfection. Read.
And it filled all the house where they were sitting.
Read on.
And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire.
Known wisdom, man. Matter of fact, give me that in Acts 1 and 8. Read that right quick.
Acts chapter 1 and verse 8. But ye shall receive power after that Holy Ghost
You're going to receive power in the last days after that Spirit. Read.
is come upon you.
Read on.
And ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth.
Jump back over there the way we was, Acts 2 and 3, man.
Acts chapter 2 and verse 3.
Read.
And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire.
These are the ones prophesied blessing, man. Read.
And it sat upon each of them.
It set upon each of them the Spirit. Read.
And they were all filled with the Holy Ghost.
Keep reading.
And began to speak with other tongues.
This is they were prophesied. Read.
And the Spirit gave them utterance.
That's how the Spirit was giving them to speak to the peoples, man. To tell the truth. We've been so far pulled from the truth, man. We came into what we call the truth, but we came into lies. The house of lies, man. The house of lies. Men worshiping men is not Christ.
Bring it out.
They don't want to hear this, man.
That's right.
It offends them. I've been in the truth 40 years. You've been a devil 40 years, man.
Bring it out.
This is the problem. Read.
And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews.
Jews, read.
Devout men out of every nation under heaven.
It said out of every nation under heaven. So that was, how did they get into Africa? Did they all decide to leave these areas and go down into Africa? Was they all in Jerusalem? They thinking that they just consolidate us to one part. The Bible say they fled out of Jerusalem. That's where we all was. The Bible said we left Egypt. That's where we all was. Come on, man. You're constraining the word from the people, man. We were scattered abroad.
Bring it out.
Read.
Now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak his own language.
They speak the word. Read.
And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans?
Galileans? Are they all Galileans? Read.
And how hear we every man in our own tongue,
Read on.
wherein we were born?
Keep reading.
Parthians,
Parthians. All of that was putting Parthians. Read.
and Medes,
And Medes. Read.
and Elamites,
And Edomites. Read.
and the dwellers in Mesopotamia,
And they was even in Mesopotamia, man. Babylon. Read.
and in Judea,
In Judea. Read.
and Cappadocia,
In the Greek area. Read.
and Pontus,
In West Africa. Read.
and Asia.
That was in Asia too. I thought that, man, what Bible are these cats reading, man?
Bring it out. Bring it out.
We all fled into Africa. That happened in 70 AD. I guess we all fled into Africa. We wasn't in other areas, man. Just like the Israelites were supposed to be all in America. But you get these cats, they'll go over in Africa before they even bless their brothers here in America.
Bring it out.
These ain't men of the Most High. These are demons with fringes, man.
Right.
Read.
Phrygia, and Pamphylia, in Egypt,
In Egypt, read.
and in the parts of Libya,
In Libya, read.
about Cyrene,
Read on.
and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes,
Keep reading.
Greeks and Arabians.
Read on.
We do hear them speak in our tongue and wonderful words of God.
Listen to this, man. I guess we just be in one location. And let me ask you this. How many people would they have to transfer from 1619 to 1808 per year if they got 12.5 million? They ain't did the math on nothing, man. How many people would they have on the ship? And how many would they lose? Just like they tell you about the job market. Oh, yeah, we created 200,000 jobs. How many did you lose in June?
That's right.
That's right.
Did you lose 800,000 in June?
Yeah.
Boy, they give you misfortune information all day, every day, and people eat it. That's what goes on, man. Give me Revelation 17:1. This is what goes on with our people, man. We got to get out of this notion, man. We can't believe nothing. That's why we got to examine the Bible, man. What good would we be doing if we teaching the same lies that they taught us? We indoctrinating our peoples in lies. That's why they don't want to hear this. That's why a lot of you people don't want to get right. Because you can't prove nothing. You can't prove to me George Washington was a so-called white man. You're going to just pull that dollar out, ain't you? Give me a picture of George Washington over there. This is what they're going to run to, man. No information, no description, no complexion. They give you nothing. But they'll tell you you're supposed to believe it. This is what's wrong with our people, man. Oh, there he is right there. There go the great George Washington. I don't even know who this man is, man. When I read the description, it say he had dark skin.
Right.
See, a lot of people don't want to hear this, man, because they love these peoples, man. They love images. Just like I gave you the ships. Show me a real picture of George Washington. Somebody. See, they can't show you one. Why don't they go through the books and see the books in the colleges? That's where you're going to find the books at. See, I got one right here. I say the University of Houston, man. See, they don't know how to go. See, they don't know where the information is at. They thinking the information is in the Israelite starter kit with all them lies that they pumping.
Count on that.
That's what they indoctrinate you in. Go spend all your money on Babylon and Timbuktu and all these lies.
Man.
And Rudolph Winster, is he walking in the spirit of he's in the spirit of a demon himself? Or he just out here to profit off the people?
Bring it out. Bring it out.
So this is what you get in Israel, man. So you get fanboys. You got cats teaching the Bible now with baseball hats on, man. That's not Christ-like. You got guys that go grab curtains off rods and make garments, man. You got the obese camps out here too.
Uh-oh.
See, they like to throw shots. I throw them too. Can you prove something to me? Read Revelation 17:1.
Revelation chapter 17 and verse 1.
Read.
And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials.
This is the 7 angels represent the ones that were serving Yah directly. And he had them judgments against Israel, man. See, Israel thinking they can just run and there's no punishment for their lies, for their sins, man. They just love to be wicked, man. And thinking we're going to get in a kingdom with them, man. How many times we've been warned? How many times? We don't have to get punished as a nation for others. I had one guy, yeah, man, I thought he said they were going to burn it spiritually eternal. So they come back 2/3. So we shouldn't have to do nothing either, shouldn't we? We should behave a Cadillac too and be wicked as hell too. And this guy know who I'm talking about, man. Mr. Slickhead. Nobody in your care for 15 years, Mr. Slickhead. Go grab you somebody's sheet and make you a garment, man. Quit messing with me, man. I'm not the one to be played with.
Bring it out.
I'm telling you. I'm not in your league, Ak.
That's right.
You boys are destroyed. Out here destroying peoples and people's on there commenting like they really talking about something because they don't know nothing. Guess what? The people that they teaching don't know nothing. Keep reading now.
And talk with me, saying unto me,
Read.
Come hither.
They say, come hither, read.
I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore.
This great whore is talking about these Israelites around here, man. Just talking about these Israelites.
Bring it out.
Talking about these Israelites, man. Read.
That sitteth upon many waters.
On the bottom everywhere you go, man. Catching hell in every city. Ain't leading nobody. Man, do you understand they run the same game on us? Trying to depopulate. They trying to bring down the peoples in the United States and other countries. They want to kill people. That's what they do. I think a lot of people didn't go in them churches and walk out dead. You think a lot of these Israelites into these camps, man? These brothers was all in the camps together, don't even speak to each other. Are these men of the Most High? Are these just, could be Edomites? See, because they thinking all Edom is so-called white men's. Give me Psalms 50 and 5. They thinking all so-called white men's are Edomites. Let me tell you something, you Edomites, it's a lot of you chocolate Edomites out there, man. See, I tell the truth, I know you. A lot of you Edomites out there, man, with garments on.
Bring it out, right?
Want 5 wives.
Oh.
How are we gonna be in captivity? And how can you afford these cats? Let me tell you something, these cats couldn't even bust a grape on the land.
Bring it out.
That's right.
I seen one go do a photo shoot, and I ain't seen them no more out there on the land. Read this up.
Psalms chapter 50 and verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me.
It say, gather the saints unto the Most High, the ones that follow Yah. Read.
Those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
See, these cats ain't made no covenant with the Most High and His Son by sacrificing. They still living the American way, man. The American lie. Let me tell you something. When did that term start? Nobody knows. Nobody even knows when the Social Security card started or the birth certificate card started. Nobody knows nothing, man. These here are image Israelites. They just go by pictures. That's what they start you 1-year-old with. You ever see it? Who got a 1-year-old book back there? Let's see the book, man. If anybody got a book back there, bring it up here. Because I want to show you what they start out. It'd be with the picture. What is this? Bird. Cat. George Washington. Slave ship.
That's right.
Bring it out.
There you go. That's what they started him out with, man. This is the Israelite training doctrine right here, man. Woo! Give me Lamentations 1 and 16. Let's go talk to this hoe, man. See. Go talk to her, man. See, because a lot of y'all don't understand, what do a hoe do? See, a hoe like to lie, cheat, steal, kill.
You ain't lying.
See, that's what they do, man.
That's right. Bring it out.
That's why the Most High compares to one, man.
That's right. Bring it out.
And how you gonna be a virtuous wife when you still got that spirit on you?
What?
Read up.
Lamentation chapter 1 and verse 16. For these things I weep.
Read on.
Mine eye runneth down with the water, because the comforter that should relieve my soul is far from me.
See, the spirit of the Most High Spirit is not with us, man. The Most High Spirit is not with us. It wasn't with us in like they say, in 1969. How do you become the head of the camp when you wasn't even the senior man in there?
Bring it out.
Uh-oh.
See, these people are anointed by means. Read.
My children are desolate.
Hey, they are what?
My children are desolate.
We are deprived. We was deprived of Yah, man. Read.
Because the enemy prevails.
See, the enemy prevail. How do your enemy prevail with guns? And I heard one guy tell me, yeah, they're gonna send nuclear weapons over here and it's gonna blow America up and it's gonna be burning for a while. You idiot. Find me a nuclear weapon. Show me one weapon. If it takes a ship 2 months to get across the ocean, 3 months, how long does a nuclear missile? Do you know the physics for that?
Bring it out.
Nah, they don't know nothing, man. These cats are great talkers. Read,
Zion spreadeth forth her hands, and there is none to comfort her.
How do these brothers comfort these brothers and sisters with the same lives? How do you have half of your Bible with Christianity and you got half with the truth? They don't understand that, do they? See, they'll attack you when you got the truth. That's what they did to Christ. See, that's what you heard this morning. You see how they was hating on Christ? Christ was teaching.
That's right.
So they want them to be David Blaine or somebody, man. That's mockery. Read.
The Lord had commanded concerning Jacob that his adversaries should be round about him. Jerusalem is as a mistress woman among them.
Hold up, they're gonna be like, ain't we still unclean?
Bring it out.
We got fringes on and we still unclean, man. Some of them got these zigzags on. Who they say do not envy your oppressor. But they'll go out there and tell somebody with blonde hair that, but they'll go put zigzags on and put a Jewish star on their shirt.
Bring it out.
Or put a graven image up. Unclean spirits, man. That's what you're seeing, unclean spirits. Read.
The Lord is righteous.
The Lord is righteous. Read.
For I have rebelled against his commandments.
See, the thing is, you can have 10 wives. You don't have to take care of them. See, this is what these weak sisters and weak brothers do, man. They running somewhere where they can fulfill the flesh.
Bring it out.
They around men that ain't gonna do nothing for Christ. But they thinking these are holy men. These are today's scribes and Pharisees.
Right.
Read.
Hear, I pray you.
Hear, I pray ye. Read.
All people, and behold my sorrow.
Read on.
My virgins and my young men are gone into captivity.
Let me tell you something. Is it going into captivity? Do you not remember your God? This is talking about brainwashing people, man. Beating and killing it out of them. Going through what we have to go through. 12 years of school. This is what you got teaching the Bible. Men that want to be on these corners, man. That want to look good for these sisters. They not out there for the Most High and the Son.
Bring it out.
Not no spirit in these brothers and sisters, man. All on Facebook. What's so hard for people to show love when somebody say shalom?
Bring it out.
That show you there's a division in Israel. You got the wicked and you got the godly. And it's few godly. The majority, the masses is wicked. And they got fringes, zigzags on, and whatever they got on. You got camps that don't even wear nothing. But they holy than thou. He the number 2 man on the planet. How? Who told you that? Please let me get the scripture where you prove that at. And with the way that your peoples hate on the peoples, sickness. Read.
I called for my lovers.
He say, I called for my lovers. See, this is their lovers. See, they love the lies. They love the other nation. Look at our people, man. Look at the condition that they are in. Who do they trust on? They trust on their lovers. A lot of them trust on their job before they trust on Christ, who puts the spirit on somebody to give them that job. Read on.
But they deceived me.
Hold up, what do they do?
But they deceived me.
They deceive you every time, man. Read.
My priests and my elders gave up the ghost in the city.
See, these dudes ain't no spiritual man. These dead men's walking around with fringes. Read.
While they sought their meat to relieve their souls.
Well, hold on, they seek their meat. Where they getting their information? Where their doctrine come from? Is it from above or is it from man? Read.
Behold, O Lord, for I am in distress.
What up, it say?
For I am in distress.
All peoples are in distress, man. And let me show you something. They did this same old programming 600 years ago. See, they know how to keep us as slaves. See, when the pressure get on people, when they don't like to come get counseling, see, they get in distress. They depend on the people that's going to deceive them every time. Christ would never deceive you.
That's right.
Read.
My bowels are troubled.
See, my mind. I can't get my mind right. Because guess what? You've been programmed since birth. Read.
Mine heart is turned within me.
My heart is changed because I don't know what to believe. Read.
For I have grievously rebelled.
I have greatly rebelled. Read.
Abroad the sword bereaveth.
Be under sword, man, bereaving the sadness. Read.
At home there is as death.
That's like nothing but sin around me. Read.
They have heard that I sigh.
They heard what?
They heard that I sigh.
They heard me crying, man. Read.
There is none to comfort me.
Nobody here will comfort you, man.
Read out.
Why keep holding on to this place? Because you're going through a few things, man. We all been through it.
Bring it out.
We all been through it, man.
That's right.
Ain't nobody missed a week of meals, have they? Ain't nobody in here missed a week of drinking water, have they? Some of you might have missed a week on bathing or something. You know, changing clothes or something, but you ain't been without. So why do you get so discouraged when things not going right for you? Keep reading.
All mine enemies have heard of my trouble.
See, everybody knows you, man. Why are you thinking you got all these other peoples in our communities? Why haven't the Israelites came together and established anything? But these people will trust these men, man. And they got all kind of videos out on them. You see, let me tell you something about Brothers Polite. He was out there shooting the Bible, shooting the Bible all up, huh?
That's right.
Judgment is on him.
That's right.
Time to wipe some drawers, Polite. See, what you going in for, they put hands on dudes like that.
You ain't lying.
See,
Right.
see, and all these camps out here running their mouth about them, they headed down the same path too, man. Read.
They are glad that thou hast done it.
Read on.
Thou wilt bring the day that thou hast called, and they shall be like unto me. Let all their wickedness come before thee.
Read on.
And do unto them as thou hast done unto me for all my transgressions.
This is why he compares to a whole man. Because we just don't, we get mad, we forget the scriptures.
Facts. That's right.
It's hard staying in the spirit, man, when you out here. That's why I tell you, I barely could go places, man, because, you know, it's just so sick around here, man. And let me tell you something. This is how they make you. See, back in the 80s and the 90s, early 2000s, people was good winning. Getting their overtime, finding jobs easy. Let me tell you something. You ones out there without a trade, man, the storm is coming your way. See, because you ain't preparing anything, man, because one thing that they do here, just like they gave you 12 years of school, they give you 40 hours a week on a job.
Right.
To keep you busy. That's how they keep you busy. So you can't think for yourself. Finish it out, Up.
For my sighs are many, and my heart is faint.
You understand, man? We catching hell here every day.
Right.
Matter of fact, give me page 49, man. Let me show you something. See, I know they ain't got this book. One thing I know, they don't like to research nothing anyway. Let's deal with this. Read this.
Page 49. The other prerequisite for the legality of abetment of the system, these elements were combed from various provisions of the Elizabethan poor
You
laws.
think this law ain't here today? You thinking these laws ain't here for you today? It's a system, man. I told you the Constitution means system. All praises to the Most High and His Son for giving us the information. It's just that our people don't want to retain it and believe it.
Bring it out.
This here is a corporation. You just a slave, and you're a slave in your mind first. See, you have to break a man will or a woman will before you can do anything to make them do stuff for you, and they won't say a word. Won't nobody say going to work for this money that they make, because guess what? That's the only thing that they know. Because they choose not to. And see, when I tell you about a business, I don't tell you to go into business. Well, just come up with something in 2 weeks and you're ready. Man, it might take you 5-10 years.
That's right.
See, we want to do things overnight. That'll cost you. Read.
It was the adaptation and modification of these instruments by the enterprising merchants of England.
The merchants of England. Read.
The ship's captains and colonists.
Hold up, who?
The ship's captains and colonists that created the American indentured system.
Hold up. This was the plan to fill America up with slaves. Indentured servants. You never heard the Israelites talk about this, do you? This was the act in 1601. Why don't we ever hear them speak on these things? The only thing they know is Africa.
Bring it out, too.
And do you really think the peoples are that? Let me tell you something. The people were just like y'all were back then. It was just different buildings, different cars. You know, you had the horse and trailer. See, ain't nothing new under the sun, man. Ain't nothing new. Y'all the same destroyed people that you was back then.
Bring it out.
Because you don't want to come to Christ. Christ is that door. Some of you get to it and turn around and go back to the world. Why did you think that they wanted to go back into Egypt? They had came out of an oppressive system. That's the same system they run today. It's not new under the sun. Give me this other letter right here. The poor law. Let me get it. I want y'all to look at this, man. Read this out.
English poor laws.
See, now you understand where I'm bringing you the information from? I can go get the information too. Read this.
Historical precedents of tax-supported relief for the poor.
Hold up, what?
Historical precedents of tax-supported relief for the poor.
Read on.
In 1601, England was experiencing a severe economic depression.
Ain't they doing this today? What's the difference? What's the difference? I even heard on Good Times we're going through inflation. I'm going to show you all this is what they do to us to keep you a slave. Because you got to depend on them. They're your God. Read.
With large-scale unemployment.
Hold up, with what?
Large-scale unemployment.
In 1601? Why don't we know something about this? Read.
And widespread famine.
Famine, lack of food. Read.
Queen Elizabeth proclaimed a set of laws designed to maintain order and contribute to the general good of the kingdom, the English Poor Laws.
Read on.
These laws remained in force for more than 250 years with only minor changes.
Minor changes, read.
Essentially, the laws distinguish three major categories of dependents. The vagrant.
Hold up. Didn't they use that on us in the 1800s? You didn't have a job? The beggars, the warners, the unsellers, the vagabonds. Did they not use this same thing? Ain't they not using it today?
Bring it out.
Who out there in them street corners? What be happening to them? Nobody knows, man. Read.
The involuntary unemployed.
These are the ones laid off, fired, job closed down, the ones refusing to work. Now I'm starting to hear a lot of these companies not even paying their employees. Y'all keep believing in this place, man. And this is letting you know this happened back in 1601. Keep reading.
And the helpless.
Hold up, what?
And the helpless.
These are the ones cannot take care of themselves financially, seeking government assistance. You apply for housing, they'll tell you it's 4 or 5 year wait. Keep reading.
The laws also set forth ways and means for dealing with each category of dependents. Most important, the laws established the parish, local government, acting through an overseer of the poor appointed by local officials.
Local officials? Don't y'all got local officials that they go to today? It ain't nothing new under the sun. Read.
As the administrative unit for executing the law.
Executing the law. Read.
The poor laws gave the local government the power to raise taxes.
Hold up, they did what?
Raise taxes.
They raised taxes. Read.
As needed, and use the funds to build and maintain almshouses.
These are the projects that people's in today, man. Keep reading.
To provide indoor relief, cash or sustenance for the aged, handicapped, and other worthy poor, and the tools and materials required to put the unemployed to work.
Read on.
Parents were required to support their children and grandchildren. Likewise, children were responsible for the care of their unemployable parents and grandparents. Children whose parents cannot support them were forced into mandatory apprenticeships.
Hold up, they what?
Forced into mandatory apprenticeships.
Let me tell you something. They lock you up, man. What you thinking they making these people do?
Bring it out.
You got to go work for somebody for free on probation.
Yep.
This is sad. Read on.
They had no right to object to the compensation or the interference with their own child-rearing activities.
They had that CPS dealing with them today.
Bring it out.
You can't even object. Read.
Vagrants and any able-bodied person who refused to work could be committed to a house of correction or fine.
Hey, jail time.
Bring it out.
You thinking these people playing with us? See, we playing with ourselves. That's why these cats that hear this information, they can't come together. And these Israelites out here, these fans out here, Christ ain't looking for fans. He's looking for brothers and sisters.
That's right.
Read on.
In response to concerns that dependent persons would move to parishes where financial assistance was more generous, in 1662, a severe law of settlement and removal was enacted in England. The law made it possible for local authorities to force individuals and families to leave a town and return to their parish if they became dependent. In effect, this law allowed a local government to restrict aid only to persons and families known to be residents.
Keep reading.
The American colonies and state governments modeled their public assistance for the poor on the Elizabethan poor laws and the law of settlement and removal.
Hold up. These people don't know who they playing with, man. We're playing with the devil. But we can't get right, man. We can't love each other. You know, one thing that I learned, they attack each other. See, that's the mind of a slave. They'll attack their neighbor. They won't go and fight the people that's oppressing the people. You got the Bloods and Crips, all they do is kill each other. The Woo and the Who, the MS-13, all they doing is killing each other.
Right.
This is sad. Let me show you something. Give me the slave trade. It's another letter.
The slave trade. We include the Atlantic slave trade here since its beginning in the 1400s.
I thought it started in 1619. But let me let you know, this is what they're giving us. I'm going to show you though. Read.
Whereas much part of the European breakout into the Atlantic Ocean, as were the first voyages in North America.
Keep reading.
The date we recognize for the arrival of the first enslaved Africans in Virginia is 1619.
That's what they told us. That's enough on that page. Let's go to the Spaniards. See, because I told you last week, what was New York's first name? New Amsterdam. See, you have to understand, the British wasn't over here yet. So they were working out things, man, trying to get things in line, build things up. They wanted over here because they was over here scouting. Let's read this right here.
The Spanish. Hernando de Soto explored the southeast region of North America for Spain.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to show you, man, that these Spanish, all these people were dark-skinned people. See, we got the so-called white man so far up our can, we can't think.
Bring it out, right?
Nobody do no research on nothing, man. Everybody are just regurgitated fake prophets.
Bring it out.
That's what they are. They don't bring no information, man. And they expect for people to believe them with what they teaching. Read.
Searching for gold.
What was they here for?
Searching for gold.
Read on.
A suitable site for a colony and an overland route from Mexico to the Atlantic from 1539 to 1543, starting in Florida with over 600 men, 200 horses, 300 pigs, and a pack of attack dogs.
I don't hear no word where no slaves at. Jump down to the French.
The French, Jacques Cartier,
That's that wax that people love, but go ahead.
explored the northeast part of the continent, intending to find the elusive passage to the Orient. Sailing west of the newfound land, he discovered the St. Lawrence River and explored the regions in 3 voyages between 1535 and 1541.
I don't hear nothing about no slaves, do you? How can you bring slaves over here when you ain't even got a colony set up? Let's go to the next page, man. The English. Let's go to the English. See, because they was all coming over here. Let me tell you something. People been coming to America for forever, man. This is the sad part about it. Nobody history started until 1619. So they don't teach none of this in these colleges, these schools. You don't learn nothing but to be an indentured servant. Let me tell you something. Volunteer work is what? Indentured servant. You're working for free, ain't you? You don't understand that, do you? And people do it willfully, don't they? Even your job is indentured servant. You are paid a certain amount to go do a job. And guess what? You do it willfully. Ain't none of these Israelites or anybody gonna run in there, hey man, I'm making 18, man. Can you kick me up to 28? Hey Bob, open the door.
Mr. Jordan.
There you go. Gonna tell him, go back, you dirty black. We got 1 million indentured servants out here that we can hire for 15. Read,
The English, Beyonce settled a gentleman who, in 1577, accompanied Frobisher on his second voyage to the Arctic waters, gives us a true report of what it was like to search for the passage. In his account, we get a sense of both the optimism and the greed that propelled the earlier explorers.
They was here, man. Let me tell you something. They still greedy today, man. Read.
We see how heavily they relied upon the skill of their navigators and the courage of their leaders.
Jump down to the bottom. Failed colonies.
Failed colonies. Fort Caroline. French Huguenots or Protestants.
Let me tell you something. Them Protestants out there, which are the Baptists today, they were slaves over here too. See, you hear about them Quakers? They was indentured service too, man. See, they just give you these names, put you on some black and white outfits, and tell you these people's over here enjoying themselves. That's a lie. Read,
established this small settlement in 1564 on the southeast Atlantic coast.
Hold up, how long is this for? 1619? Keep reading, though.
Just north of the site where the Spanish would build St. Augustine's a year later, partly to protect its Atlantic shipping corridor from the French encroachment. Who would attack the other first?
Keep reading.
Aldecan, 9 Jesuit missionaries, founded this settlement in 1570 on Chesapeake Bay.
Damn, Chesapeake Bay, read.
Near the site where Jamestown was founded 37 years later. They soon faced food shortages and demanded provisions from the Papuan Indians. In this letter, they pled to the treasurer of Cuba for a shipment of corn to sustain them through the winter. Several months later, the Papuans destroyed the mission and killed the men.
So nobody here doing nothing, man. Nobody here doing nothing. So how would they need some slaves in 1619? We're going to get to it today, though. We're going to get to it today. Revelation 17:2. We'll get to it today. See, the thing is, we want to just stick with the lies that they've been teaching us all our life. We don't want to elevate our mind. We don't want to think for ourselves. We don't want to research nothing. You don't get no histories. And I seen one of them cats talking about he was a history major. Read this out.
Revelation chapter 17 and verse 2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication.
The kings of the earth have committed fornication, man. Read.
And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Let me tell you something. Who the one drunk today? These Israelites, these Christianities, and everybody in the world. They drunk with her fornication, with her lies. Give me Lamentation, man. 4:13. Lamentation 4:13. See, people don't understand, man. We need to know the truth. The word, history. Read out.
Lamentation chapter 4 and verse 13. For the sins of her prophets and the iniquities of her priests.
This is what you're still seeing today, man, with these camps out here. Read.
That have shed the blood of the just in the midst of her.
That's what they have done, man. They don't read the Bible. They read the Bible and try to use it. It's a two-edged sword. See, they get sliced up. See, you will never see them trying to come past. That's why we don't have camps anymore. We call it flower mission. See, we don't want to be affiliated with the sickness. Read.
They have wandered as blind men in the street.
Hold up, what are they doing out there in the corner?
They have wandered as blind men in the street.
You know.
They have polluted themselves with blood.
They're out there killing all kind of souls, man.
Bring it out.
Read.
So that men could not touch their garments.
You know.
They cried unto them, depart ye.
What did they do?
They cried unto them, depart ye.
They say, cried unto the unclean, depart, repent ye. Read.
It is unclean.
It is what?
It is unclean.
That doctrine, that one West stuff, it is totally unclean, man. All of these churches, these are unclean doctrines. Read.
Depart.
What?
Depart.
Read.
Touch not.
It say what?
Touch not.
Read on.
When they fled away and wandered, they said among the heathen.
Read on.
They shall no more sojourn there.
They said no more sojourn there, man. They never gonna return into Israel, man. Let me tell you something. These peoples out here are leading our peoples to destruction. Read.
The anger of the Lord hath divided them.
Read on.
He will no more regard them. They respected not the persons of the priests. They favored not the elders.
See, people, when you come to the truth, y'all don't want to hear it now. See, it offends you because things keep changing. What do the scriptures say in Acts 3:19? Repenting what? Repenting what? And so what are we supposed to stay the same?
Bring it out.
Keep reading.
As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Oh, the other nations gonna save us?
Bring it out.
Don't our nations supposed to be the ones here doing the work?
Bring it out.
They're not about the work, man. These men's about gold, oil, and drugs. They're about getting rich here in the Babylon. Give me the blue bubonic plague, man, the Black Death. Let me show you something, man. Let me show you something. All the games that they ran, the same thing. This is the jail back then. Read this.
The bubonic plague during the Elizabeth era.
See, the Elizabeth era. Understand this. It didn't start with her. It was passed to her. Read.
In October 1347, a ship came from the Crimea and Asia and docked in Messina, Sicily. Aboard the ship were not only sailors, but rats.
Hold up. Did any of these Israelites check and see if there was some rats on the slave ships? They checking if there was any bugs. How big was the sleeping quarters? Let me ask you this. You mean they was on the ship 3 months, nobody took a shower? What did they eat the whole time? Why don't they talk about that? Did they have a variety of diet that they had? See, it's just crazy, ain't it? It don't make no sense for a woman to be on the ship 3 months and she ain't bathed. Boy, you would jump on that ship and have jump in the ocean. Keep reading.
The rats brought with them the Black Death.
Let me tell you something, man. This is nothing but all the AIDS they don't gave us, the syphilis, the herpes, the gonorrhea. These are all of these same. What else they had? What other disease they had? The Ebola. All these things that they have portrayed on us. Every 100 years, we get another disease.
You ain't lying.
And where they come from monkeys or they come from a lab in Wuhan. So they just tell us anything, man. And we believe it.
Bring it out.
We don't question nothing. Just like you didn't question nothing in school, you raise your hand. Teacher, I know the answer. What is it, idiot? That's basically what they're saying. Because the teacher is getting a passed down doctrine. Just like the pastor got. Just like you see the Israelites got today. Read on.
The bubonic plague.
Read on.
Reports that came to Europe about the disease indicated that 20 million people had died in Asia.
Who was in Asia? Didn't it say we was in Asia too? Who are you thinking they targeted? Keep reading.
Knowing what happened in Europe, this was probably an understatement. Shalaki, this was an underestimate because there were more people in Asia than Europe. Best estimates now are at least 25 million people died in Europe from 1347 to 1352.
They're trying to reduce the population. Every man, I'm telling you what they do. Why are you thinking these young boys out here killing them like they do? These guns? I'm seeing more people, man. I'm finding sex workers, man. They're killing them. You got the just like you see people celebrating, they killing. See, the spirit is on to kill. That's why I keep telling you, don't get caught up. Well, I was just out hanging with somebody. No, don't do that. Like Park said, see death around the corner. Keep reading.
This was almost 40% of the population.
40% of the population. Why are you thinking they just knocked down the Georgia guidestones out there? What was on them stones that was telling us? The same thing, wasn't it? They was trying to kill off people. That's what they're trying to do. A lot of you don't know the water that come out your pipes. That's the same water when you flush your toilet.
Bring it out.
Yep. I'd be like, you gonna be in the shower long? I don't want to be smelling like poop. And they got stuff in there they can't get out. What are all the metal? So when people taking a poop, where all the stuff they go, all these drugs they taking?
Bring it out.
Some of you drinking your water high as hell, ain't it? Some of you don't smoke the big boogie or bogey under you. Think about it. Where this medication going? This oxy, this hydro, and everything that they got. Where's this stuff going? Right into your drinking water. You thinking they ain't trying to kill us? Fluoride in your toothpaste.
Bring it out.
GMO foods. They don't even want you to have your own seeds. Keep reading up.
Half of Paris's population of 100,000 people died.
Half a parish. Keep reading.
In Italy, Florence's population was reduced from 120,000 inhabitants in 1338 to 50,000 in 1351. The plague was a disaster, practically unequaled in the annals of recorded history, and it took 150 years for Europe's population to recover.
Listen at this, Bereed.
The plague doctor costume consisted of an ankle-length overcoat, a bird-like beaked mask filled with sweet or strong-smelling substances, along with gloves and boots. The mask had glass openings for the eyes. Straps held the beak in front of the doctor's nose, which had two small holes and was a type of respirator.
Ain't this the same thing they had us doing too? I'm just telling y'all, man, how long are y'all gonna want to hold on? How long are y'all not gonna understand, man, what the Lord is trying to do is secure your children's future? See, these Israelites, they don't want to do nothing, man. They don't mind going into these grocery stores buying this unqualified food to feed their children. They don't care about going to these restaurants. I don't even want no more chicken sandwich from these restaurants. They making it in a factory now. What else they making? What kind of meat Taco Bell use? I'm just asking y'all, ain't y'all tired of it? Why are you thinking we trying to work hard so we don't have to and people's lazy as hell?
Thanks.
Keep reading up.
The burning of Jews in the 14th century during the Black Death.
Let me tell you something, man. Did Nero blame us for something we didn't do? They blame us for everything, man. They gonna blame you for this economy soon. Because they gonna say you the poorest. You the one bringing the system down. Keep reading.
Jews were perceived as being less susceptible to the plague than their neighbors, likely the result of Jews' ritual regarding personal hygiene. And they were accused of poisoning other nations' wells, thought to be the source of the plague.
You don't understand, man. They're gonna blame everything on you. Revelation 17:3. They're gonna blame everything on you. Why are you thinking you seeing our faces plastered everywhere? All on TV. All the crimes, they plastered in our faces. Read on out.
Revelation chapter 17 and verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
These are these kings, man, in these countries, man. This is representing the other nations. You thinking we not in all these nations or we were just in Africa? How do you translate that? Did they suck us all out of Africa like the rip currents? Did they not get, why don't we look like we see some Ethiopians, Afro-Americans here?
That's right.
Or some Kenya Negroes here? They just got all Israelites, didn't they? We ain't thinking. We just want images. See, when you ain't thinking, you want an image. That will release your stress. They show you a drawn up ship and never show you one slave ship. Why don't they go and they rebuild Moses' ark? Why don't they go rebuild one of them slave ships for you and put it in a museum? Why don't they reconstruct a slave ship? Because you know why they won't? Because they're going to have to show you everything that your mind going to be thinking. Where was they taking showers at? Well, not the slaves, but what about the ship, the crew? You mean they had to bathe in seawater too? Where did they get soap? any kind of personal hygiene. You mean they didn't brush their teeth for all these months? You thinking they was in Africa chunking spears?
Bring that out.
That's what they think, man. So they relating us to being in Africa. I thought in the Babylon Timbuktu we was architects and everything else.
Bring it up.
So how we been brought to a lower state to get on the ship, man? And you thinking once we heard the word that they was kidnapping people, you thinking we ain't gonna stand up and fight?
Bring it out.
Some things we just don't think, man. We'll take a precept and don't have a precept to prove it. Read out.
And the woman was arrayed in purple. And
No, we'll stay on 3. Now give me Psalms 83 and 3. Let me show you something, man. The same is nothing new under the sun. It's nothing new. Everything is the same. It's just the way that they play a different game on us. Read that.
Psalms chapter 83 and verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Hold up. Crafty counsel, man. Misleading information. False doctrines. Lies in school. The whole church system set up on lies. The whole history set up on lies. They never taught us no truth, but we'll believe a ship. In Deuteronomy, did it say slave ship or did it say ship? Did it specify? Did they get a precept to specify a slave ship? Why would you forcefully put peoples that had no skills, that were chucking spears in Africa, to come over here and be blacksmiths, home builders?
Bring it out.
It just doesn't make sense, man.
Bring it out.
It's total ignorant, man, that these brothers and sisters believe in these doctrines. Read up.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted. Read.
They had said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
They wanted to wipe out our memory. You thinking this just happened 400 years ago? And did you thinking people came over on ships naked? Where did they get the clothes when they got here?
Bring it out.
What manufacturing store was here in 1619? They barely had clothes for themselves. So how did you close all these peoples? Where did they get the shoes from? Say, I'll make you think, because you don't want to think. Tell me this. Who supplied them with the dresses? Where did they get any things for their own personal hygienes?
Bring it out.
What was it, Walmart's back then? We don't think about nothing, do we, man? Where did they get their food from if they barely was making it here? We just go with the narrative. That's how we always have. That's how we always have. That's how they can get us up on. That's how you can get foods on a slave ship. Not on a slave ship, just on a ship. Now, I'm not talking about South America. Where would you name me one colony in South America that was built up at that time? You can't, see, nobody can tell me nothing. It's just crickets. Nothing. You can't get nothing. All you can get is that 12 million people came over here. You can't even tell me how many per year. They ain't even, these thoughts ain't even, how many women's to mans to children? Nobody thinks about nothing, man. We just eat the garbage that they feed us.
Bring it out.
Read up.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
How you think you do these things, man? They've been started this back with the Greeks. The Greeks. Burning of our books. And one thing that you have to understand, the nation didn't have Bibles. They didn't have a printing factory to print Bibles for every household.
Bring it out.
Now that they do, Israelites still don't want to read.
Bring it out.
So guess who was teaching us? The so-called scribes and Pharisees. Easily can be paid off to lie to you.
Bring it out.
That's why they hated Moses, Joshua, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. They hated them. And they hated Christ. What doctrine is this? What authority do you come in here with this new? See, because they had never heard it. They had been indoctrinated back then. Keep reading up.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
All these nations are working together. And we got the flea doctrine. You can go to this country. What, they gonna treat you like a slave over there?
Bring it out.
You got the fake Japanese, the fake Chinese. Just like your government officials here, they just puppets on screens. You thinking Biden really pulling strings? Biden just a yes man. And let Biden don't do what they say. They'll replace Biden with Biden.
Bring it out. Bring that out.
You gonna play it, man?
Bring that out.
And let them don't do what they say. Ask Kennedy about his wig. Y'all think I'm playing, don't you?
You like that?
I'm gonna be bringing this out how they put them in power. See, it wasn't no lit house on the Perry ground here, man. Them another false doctrine. That's not Daniel Boone. He was a land thief. See, these people they give you as heroes, man. See, I know what they do. If you go watch the videos, you'll see. See, cause they ingrained us. He stood, I was a child. I was loving Daniel Boone. Threw the axe, split the tree. I'm like, man. Every time I throw it, my axe bounce off. Stage props, man. Why did you think in 1940 they gave us televisions and they started putting them in the roles as them? The imagery, the pictures. They would take people's and snap pictures of them and tell y'all those was the peoples back then.
Bring it out.
But you find out these things by reading. Keep reading up.
They are confederate against thee.
Read on.
The tabernacles of Edom.
Edomites, they the head, they the lead. They the lead. See, they taught us the so-called Edomites was the so-called white men. My wife had some on the app. I was listening. She was just little baby was telling her. Somebody was asking her, what color is that? She was telling her that the cedar sun was white. So she finally asked her, what color are you? She said, I'm pink. You never heard nobody calling mouse red. But you have people in our communities they call red. And what is ruddy? Red. Light skins. You know them highly yellow brothers, I always thinking they pretty and stuff.
Bring that out.
We always been at war with each other, man. We love each other. They played us with that then in the movies.
That's right.
Everything that they could do, they did it. Read on up.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites. You thinking why can't we go into these other nations and they speak up for us? Who on the UN ever speaks up for us? Keep reading.
Of Moab.
Let me tell you something. Who is that army for that they have, the UN? Why don't they come to America and free us? We ain't got no, man. Listen, man. Why are we on the bottom? Because we think on the bottom.
That's right. Right.
We think as bottom dwellers.
Right.
We don't think of ourselves as nobodies.
Right.
Read.
And Hagarenes.
These are the Arabs. Read.
Gebal.
Canaanites. Read.
And Ammon.
Japanese. Read.
And Amalek.
These are the devil. Read.
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have helped the children of Lot. Salah.
Why all these nations if we just in Africa? Somebody tell me. Did you know they were bringing Chinese peoples over here? See, it wasn't the ones you see over there now. See, a lot of y'all don't even know, and y'all be seeing Chinese people walking around here. They are slanted as hell, ain't it? Over time, they don't widen up because of the mixture. They knew what they was doing. Same thing with the Japanese. What happened to Dan? They just disappeared off the map, didn't they? Why are you thinking nobody can get along in these ghettos? Obadiah 1:4. Read that up.
Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
Let me ask you this. What nation don't have that as their symbol? What nation doesn't exalt themselves as participants with these nations? Name me one country.
Bring it out.
Africans? Name me one country. When you go through all these countries, all these nations, the oligarchies, What you call them, Bishop?
Warlocks.
Warlocks. These are the untouchables. They the ones sitting over everybody. And I'm going to show you that the elites, Edomites, they didn't come over here. They still over there. This is a factory. That's all this is. They had police back. Did you know they had police in Europe? See, everybody talk about the slave patrol. No, man, they already had them. Read,
And though thou set thy nest among the stars,
they said that everybody is above us. Read.
thence will I bring thee down,
Read on.
saith the Lord.
Keep reading.
If these came to thee, if robbers by night, how wert thou cut off?
Hold up. Keep reading.
Would they not have stolen till they had enough?
Man, how many souls have they stolen? You thinking it's talking about material things? Talking about you. Read.
If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
Read on.
How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
Who doing the research on these things?
Bring it out.
What other camp is doing what we do? None. They all about fame, notoriety. They got kings. That's what they're about, man. They're not about Christ. They have set themselves above Christ. I bet if they asked their elder would he take a knee in front of Christ, he probably have to think about that. Because some of them have set themselves above Christ. Real talk. Revelations 18:12. 18:12. We're getting into the rocks of it, man. I just wanted to let y'all know that this is a system, and it's been in place since Egypt, and they're gonna continue. And it say, if you don't know history, you're gonna make the same mistakes, right?
Right.
So why are we still making mistakes?
Bring that out.
Because we don't know nothing about what they did. Read that out.
Revelation chapter 18 and verse 12. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men.
That's all we are, man. Slave and mentally. And all they want is your soul. Because someone that's a slave in the mind, he willingly go to some of these business, man, and you got a problem with somebody there. You're going to have to almost kill that person, man, because he's loyalty to that business. How do somebody go to a job that is not promised to them tomorrow? And I hate the person come in there. And I'm gonna tell you something, the number one person that'll come at you the hardest, the people that look like it.
That's right. Thanks.
You thinking them 5 officers up there in Detroit, you thinking they wasn't in some kind of game? You thinking they didn't have that man already, they were gonna get that man?
Yep.
Jump over to Revelation 17 and 9.
Revelation chapter 17 and verse 9. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, and which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen.
5 are fallen, read.
And one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was, and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into position.
Keep reading.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings.
10 kings, read.
Which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
Keep reading.
These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb.
Hold up, they're going to make war with who?
With the Lamb.
Read on.
And the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and Kings of kings.
Keep reading.
And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful.
Faithful in the walk. Where we at? Jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
They going to what?
Hate the whore.
How they feel about it?
Hate the whore.
You thinking they care anything about you? Keep reading.
And shall make her desolate.
Hold up, make her what?
Make her desolate.
Read.
And naked.
Naked and sin. Read.
And shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Destroy them. Read.
For God had put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast.
Read on.
Until the words of God shall be fulfilled.
Fulfilled. Read.
And the woman which thou sawest is that great city.
This nation. Read.
Which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
Hold up, man. Edom reign over everybody. Give me page, man. I want to get into wages. Let me show you something. Page 57 and 58. We didn't get page 56. Give me page 56. Yeah, give me. I want to show them that where I'm getting this, I'm pulling this information from. Read this right quick.
One would not expect an act of such import as 23
Edward III.
As 23 Edward III to arise out of ordinary times, nor did it. The Black Plague, which ravished Europe from 1344 to 1348, reached London in the latter year and spread from there throughout England. Over one half of the population was destroyed because of what is now known in economic jargon as the interaction of the forces of supply and demand. Those laborers who were fortunate enough to have survived the plague, unlike the laborers of old,
Who? That's it. Go jump to 57.
who sought higher wages.
Who sought what?
Higher wages.
Hold up. Why people want to take jobs now? What plague did we just come out of? Why people want to go to work now? Keep reading.
That scarce new breed of laborers had taken a liking to the dainties of life.
Hold up. What the people's like?
The dainties of life.
They like to find the things, man. They like to go shopping, man. Read.
The law sought to dull that appetite.
Hold up. What was the Elizabeth law set to do?
Sought to dull that appetite.
They say, man.
That's right.
Keep reading.
That statute was a direct consequence of the Great Plague is acknowledged in the leading sentence.
Read that other one right there.
Because a great part of the people, and especially workmen and servants,
Read.
late died of the pestilence, many seeing the necessities of masters and great scarcity of servants, will not serve unless they may receive excessive wages, and some willing to beg in idleness than by labor to get their living.
Hold up, man. To get their living, they're out there scamming and hustling people's on the streets. So go to page 58.
In these two acts are the foundation for the arbitrary intervention of the state into the distribution of alms by either individuals or church,
Read on.
forcing laborers to work for wages to which they are unwilling to work voluntarily.
Read on.
The arbitrary setting of wages by authorities who stand to profit by setting the rates low.
Hold up. What's the rates are?
Rates low.
Who gonna survive off $20 an hour now, man?
Bring it out.
Y'all don't know what the same system. Keep reading.
The arbitrary setting of the length of the work contract.
Hold up. How many hours you work a week? Read.
And the root of the parochial settlement laws.
Go to page 61. Where we at? Oh, we didn't get to page 60, man. I know you got to go to 61.
The evolution of the handling of the vagabonds included the establishment of houses of correction of involuntary inmates.
Hold up, man. What's new under the sun? Keep reading.
Which were in effect workhouses of perpetual commitment, since release from them was only to be obtained by the agreement of someone to hire out that person on an annual basis. The only crime necessary for commitment was that of being unemployed.
Hold up, being what?
Unemployed.
Man, you think it ain't coming down on people, man? You ain't got money to pay your insurance. Your tag's out on your car. You thinking they ain't persecuting people, man? You thinking they ain't doing it back then? They did it back then. They doing it today. Keep reading.
One law of exceptional savagery and one which set a precedent for the establishment of life, indentured later.
Hold up. For life, what?
For the establishment of life indentures later in the colonies was the Act of 1547.
Don't y'all see they passing these laws? They getting ready to ship these peoples off. So you thinking all the things they doing to the technology they have today, you thinking they hadn't had that technology years ago? See, we just be getting it. See, they told you Photoshopping started when in the 2000 and something? Photoshopping started back in the 19 when they once they got the cameras, they knew how to take pictures and lay. A lot of the pictures and imagery you see today are Photoshop. You'll see little black boys or somebody sitting, you'll see a so-called white man standing there. Nobody paying attention to him. They run games on you every day. And let me tell you something. In a lot of their ads, they're talking to each other. See, we don't know their lingo. They speaking to each other on the internet. They letting each other know what's taking place. But see, we not trying to step our game up and help our people. We too busy attacking each other. Keep reading.
This act provided for the enslavement of a vagabond and any informer who turned him into a justice of the peace.
This is how they get free labor. What amendment was that, anybody? Amendment 13? Pull it up, See, what are you thinking they got all these guys in the prison system for? Who put the dope in these communities? And there used to be a missing group of peoples in small cities from about 17 to about 35. That's why the younger women would be talking to older men. You pull it. That is right there. Read that out.
The 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution provides that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude.
Hold up, involuntary slavery, servitude. Why nobody talks about this? Keep reading.
Except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction.
So what happened when you go in? How many of these brothers working for companies, man, and getting paid 5 cents an hour?
Bring it out.
17 cents an hour. Ain't nothing changed, man. The game ain't changing. If the game good, keep it going. If you can still bamboozle them, keep it going. Why stop it? They living good, we over here struggling. We don't want to come together. That's our problem, man. Because we thinking we special. You ain't special here. I don't care what level you on. Did you see the pyramid? Even the Masons ain't special. They just indentured servants too. Their job is to oppress us. Keep reading, back to the letter.
The enslavement was for 2 years and provided that he only give the slave bread and water.
Where you thinking this come from? America? Penitentiary system? Keep reading.
And caused said slave to work by beating, chaining, or otherwise. Should the slave escape, he was to be branded with the letters S on the forehead or ball of cheek, and the runway to be said master's slave forever.
Hold up. They doing this in Europe? Why we don't know nothing about this? What do we know about the history of Europe? That they talk funny? That they look like they got a million teeth in their mouth? What history did we learn? Where do your history start in this universe? Starts probably where in the church, school, that's all you know. That means you limited in thinking.
That's right.
Why are you thinking they sent us all to the school? New York, they got the same curriculum that they got in Texas, the same one they got in Atlanta, the same one they got in California, the same one they got in Great Britain, the same one they got in Africa. The same thing. It's to keep the peoples divided. It's to give trophies out. See, once you give a trophy out, people go crazy, don't they? You give them awards. You make them feel good about themselves. They begin to think they give them a better job than somebody. Why are you thinking the police only hire low IQ peoples?
Bring it out.
Y'all didn't know that, did you? You score real high on the test, they won't even hire you.
You ain't lying.
Bring it out.
They got to get people that they know that they can put in these jobs and they're going to do their dirt for them. The judges. Matthew 24 and 42. Let's keep going. It ain't gonna be long today. You're gonna start hitting. We don't deal with the unemployment, being unemployment, the wages. We're dealing with the things, man, that is going on today. See, but everybody's so smart. Let me tell you something. Kill it. That to me, that's how an end thing.
That's right.
Everybody so smart, know nothing.
That's right.
Don't know nothing. But you got scholars running around here, man. Everybody know everything. They know basketball, football, baseball, entertainers, rappers. That's all they know.
That's right.
That's it. Outside of that, they done for. They can tell you about LL Cool J when he started.
Bring it out.
They can tell you about these other people, man. That's all they know. They can't retain nothing from high school because it's all a blur.
Facts.
Nobody can tell me what Sister Esther had on a test in the 4th grade. What was the test you were taking? What classes was you taking in the 4th? You don't remember. You was going through an indoctrination training. You was being trained either to work or to go to the penitentiary and work for free.
Right.
It's either way. There's no way you're going to get rich. Don't thinking you're going to win the lottery. It's all a scam. But nobody want to hear it. Read this out.
St. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 42. Watch therefore.
Watch, man. Read.
For ye know not what hour your Lord doth come.
See, this is the thing, man. They thinking that Christ is coming on the scene or something. That's how they been taught the scriptures. Read.
But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come.
See, if you know when the thief gonna come, man, you leave your windows down with your doors open.
Bring it out.
Some of you do. I make sure I lock mine. He gonna have to work for it.
That's right.
They gonna have to work for it, man. I ain't leaving none for him.
Right.
Keep reading.
He would have watched.
See, the thing is, if you're knowing that being unrighteous, Christ coming to tap you on the shoulders. See, but if you was watching and staying in this walk, being true to yourself, you would have watched for your soul. Read.
And would not have suffered his house to be broken up.
See, when you understand, when you're not true in this truth, things are gonna happen soon. See, a lot of people don't take this serious. See, because, like I say, Ark said this morning, sound like I'm regurgitating, but I'm repeating what's the truth. Some of your husband in here, the wife, they don't read. The wife in here read, the husband don't read. Your house out of balance. Y'all should be reading your Bible. And I keep giving it to you. You're not going to grow. What is the Bible compared to? Ain't it compared to water? So how much water are you drinking during the week?
Bring that out.
Some of you are a little thirsty today, ain't you?
Bring that out.
Some of you are a little thirsty today. Ain't you thirsty out there? Put a 1 in there if you're thirsty. Put a 2 in there if you had a drink this week. I'm telling the truth. Keep reading.
Therefore, be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh.
How many of you ready? Spiritually. How many of you? Still playing, you're in there still playing Russian roulette with yourself. How many of you? One thing that you can learn in this truth, even if you're not really reading your Bible, still love your brothers and sisters, man. But you need that medicine, man. You need that medicine. Read.
Who then is a faithful and wise servant?
See, now it's just letting you know who faithful and wise. See, you ain't reading, huh? You still wise, huh?
Bring it out.
You thinking them brothers on Facebook put all that garbage out, some wise men. It should let you know they might be a little retarded. Some of them might have been on you know how that little short bus pulling. You don't want that little short bus pulling in front of your house. You come out there with your little helmet on, drooling and stuff. That's some of these people's in the truth, man. They might not be to that extreme, but they there. I was telling you the truth, man.
Amen.
That's how they act in this truth, don't it? Keep reading.
Whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household.
Lord made ruler. You thinking the Most High gonna set these men up over his real house, man? Huh? You thinking that? You gotta be crazy, man. Keep reading.
To give them meat in due season.
Or to give them what?
Meat in due season.
You got to feed them, man. You got to give them some nourishment, some word, some understanding in due season. Read.
Blessed is that servant.
What did it say?
Blessed is that servant.
It say, blessed is that servant. So you got a lot of them, man. They thinking they serving the Lord. They don't know they serving themselves. Read.
Whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing.
Read on.
Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods.
We got to put him over his people, man. These are his goods right here. You are his goods. You can't put just wicked men over his goods.
Bring it out.
See, you hear about the one that say make a wicked man for a wicked sister? See, you make a wicked camp for wicked people.
Uh-oh.
Y'all don't get it, do you? Keep reading.
But, and if that evil servant shall say in his heart.
See, a lot of these evil servants, man, they kings. Read.
My Lord delayeth his coming.
Oh, we got plenty of time, man. Keep reading.
And shall begin to smite his fellow servants.
That's what you see. That's what happens. They start turning on each other like crabs in the bucket, man. Read.
And to eat and drink with the drunken.
They are here living with the liars, man, the thieves. Read.
The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him.
Hey, when you're driving in your car, you got that jam on, you got your cold one in the cup. So you wasn't thinking it was coming your day. You see them lights behind you. What the? You know, you pull over real slow. You know, I ain't did nothing. He walk up to your car, put his thumbprint on the back of the tail light, ask you for your driver license and insurance card, walk back to the car. It's taking him a few minutes. No, you looking through the mirrors, ain't you? You see that other car pull up, you know what time it is then. Then they both walk up, get out. Can you step out, sir? You ain't been living right. Read on, Art.
And in an hour that he is not aware of.
Read on.
And shall cut him asunder.
He did what?
Cut him asunder.
What about that sister not at home doing right?
Cut him asunder.
What about that brother ain't living right?
Cut him asunder.
Read on.
And appoint him his portion with the hypocrites.
Read on.
There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
That's when they calling out, ain't they? I heard it. They calling out when they got problems, man. That's the only time they call for Christ. He's not gonna hear you. See, y'all like to play games. What's the problem coming in, getting yourself ready? Some of you will get ready for that club. You'll be prepping all week long. Jeans start so, today they don't starch the jeans now. Back in the day, we starched our jeans. Hey, stay flow, man. I forget this brother, man, being forward, man. He be dancing all over the floor, man. His crease never broke. Older dude, man. I'm like, man, crease never broke. See, we used to take our stuff, driving. I'm telling you, we drop it off at the cleaners. We starch down. See, me, I was smart. When I got home, I'd take my eyes off pants. I'll put it back in the closet. I ain't got to keep taking them to the cleaners, man. Got to be smart with your money, man. See, we'll get ready, man. We'll go out and buy these shoes, and we'll do all these things to go impress flesh. That's all. That's all we was doing. And who taught us these things? So some of you don't really know about them house parties. See, little children's and they're grinding on each other. Parents needed the golden hand, man. Why are you thinking they had the kiddie clubs around here? But what's going on now? Most High and his son done dried it up, ain't it? They ain't got nowhere to go, do they? They out here, they got murder on their minds. Sir. See, you thinking that woman and that man back then wasn't listening to Snoop Dogg and that little child in the car Murder was the case that they gave me. Now they grandbabies and people are, well, man, he just got to stop the killing. It just don't happen in my community. Guess what? See them people's in them nice homes. It's murder suicide there. See, one of them lose their job. They can't pay their $7,000 a month rent. Everybody. So y'all don't know. It's hard up there as you creep up. It ain't no easy up there. It's easier living in the projects, man. Revelation 17:4. I'm telling y'all, that's the easy life. Woman, she got a good man. He working. She at home taking care of the children. Rent how much? $25. $25. I can go pick cans and get that. We balling on no budget. $25, and you have some of them can't even pay $25. They behind 3 months on their rent, $75.
Right.
See, because they really don't think at that level. See, they just want to party. They give them to these young girls. They already ruined their business with housing. They can't get housing no more. Now they struggle. Mm-hmm. See, it's the game. They're going to give it to them because they're going to destroy it. Read that off.
Revelation chapter 17 and verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color.
Read.
And decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations.
Why do we keep taking that drink from that cup, man? We keep drinking these lies, man. And you seeing these brothers in the truth with these same cup. Full of lies. Read.
And filthiness.
Filthiness, man. They doctrine is off. Read.
Over fornication.
Let me tell you something, man. It doesn't matter, man. If it ain't from Christ, man, it ain't right.
Right.
I'm telling you. Let me go back to the letters again, man. I couldn't just come in here and teach you this. I had to go there and show you why these things happened in 66, man. Yeah. Let's deal with inflation. Did they have inflation back then? So the people was living just like us. They might didn't have the cars. They didn't have Dooney and Burke back then. They probably had Urkel and somebody else. You know, they was something different. That was some called different name. It's the same game. You thinking they wasn't one? They told us in Revelation they fine silk. We like to look good, don't we? You know how it be on Facebook? They all on the bathroom. I'm seeing men's in the bathroom.
Facts.
Why if somebody in there doing it too? Do you take a picture then? Read up.
Another basic cause for the increasing numbers of poor thrown upon the poor rates and subjected to the vagrancy laws was inflation.
Hold up, they was doing this to us back then?
Drink it out.
Because guess what? We want to drink out that cup that we can live the American life.
That's right.
That's all this is, man.
That's right.
It's a game being ran on us. Keep reading.
This, too, was recognized as a cause by some sympathetic thinkers of the period, but not by such a sufficient number of the influential as to cause the government to grapple with the problem.
Keep reading.
The problem of poverty in that age was as obvious to a majority of the merchants and landlords as it is to the affluent majority now. People were poor simply because they were impoverished.
Hold up. Ain't this happening today? Keep reading.
Lazy.
Hold up. This is all it's talking about. You don't want to get up and read and do nothing for yourself, man. This ain't talking about working. Read.
Or idle drunkards.
Idle drunkards, man. Read.
The ingenuity of those who control wealth is as blind as it is boundless in justifying their acquisitive propensities by demeaning the masses that support them.
Man, y'all don't understand, man. Y'all like to drink out that cup, man. Y'all better put that cup down, man. It done destroyed a lot of people. Go to page 68. Read this. We're going to deal with wages now. Read it.
The upward redistribution effects of the inflation is apparent. The approximate threefold increase in the price of wool.
Hold up. That was increasing prices back then? Keep reading.
Explains in part the shift from tillage to pasturage. The Mayfold increase in the price of corn.
All your food ain't it been increased? It's nothing new on the sun, man. They back running these games again.
Right.
They putting it on us again, man. See, anybody that felt like they want to follow Christ, that pressure bust a pipe. Nah, man, I gotta get my life right first. How? How? When you don't grow your own food?
That's right. Bring it out.
When you don't collect your own water? How? When you're not, let me tell you something, most people that's smart, they got land, they got family members out there.
Right.
See, you can take that pressure off you. See, but people want to do it in this society. You can't.
That's right.
Keep reading.
Indicates the profitable position of the landlord, and at the same time,
Hold up, he say the landlord. Think they increasing the rent around here? You thinking rent gonna go down in the year 2000? You thinking Trump really was talking about make America great again? Who has it been great for? Where have we been? What city did we build? What do we own? And you got people that have that hat on. I got it on. I said, make Yahweh great again. See, a lot of you don't want to do it, man, because you're still holding on. Something gonna change. And let me tell y'all something too. This pressure on your families too.
That's right.
See, a lot of people thinking they're gonna run home to family. Nah, food too high, man.
That's
They got their own children to feed, because some of their children's coming home too.
right. That's right. Bring that out.
Telling y'all, man. Y'all, that's why Christ said his family's in here.
That's right.
I'm telling y'all, man. You thinking there ain't gonna be a full-blown out war over that last juicy juice? You know, I used to see, man, my cousin them had a little jar of Kool. You know, you had the little grape jars where you put your Kool-Aid in, put your little ice in there, put it in the refrigerator, get it nice and cold. And you go back in there and nothing but some ice in it. It's a full-blown war in the house. We got to call the police to come get Cuz. Cuz gonna kill somebody in here over that juice. It's hot outside too. See, y'all don't know about that Kool-Aid, man. That's obviously they ain't have all that soda water back then. Keep reading.
And at the same time, the plight of the unlanded masses were forced to rely upon their labor alone for sustenance.
You got to rely on what you make for everything you eat, do, and whatever you do here. It's not enough. It's not enough. How long are y'all going to want to continue? See, they don't teach us these things. The same old game. It's nothing new under the sun. Keep reading.
The wage rate schedule reflects the deteriorating economic condition.
Don't y'all see it? Don't y'all see it? Why are you thinking all these people talking about going on strikes around here? This place is done for, man. I just seen some nursing home up in Oklahoma somewhere, man, where they ain't paid the people. Right here in the city of Dallas, they ain't even paid the sheriff people that working at the house, the jailers. Then you got the jailers, especially in Atlanta. I don't know what's going on. They having babies and they're taking photos of each other with Benz.
Yep. Bring it out.
Yep.
Getting conquered to getting the dope brung in.
Yep.
You know, some of these dudes need to check themselves because they got that dope back there, man. Something wrong with them. Telling you, man. 69, man. Keep reading.
One would be tempted to agree with the conclusions Hamilton saw if these prices revealed the true picture of the 16th century, and if one assumes that the wages listed at the end of the century were sufficient to maintain a sustenance level of living for the masses.
Look at this, man. Read.
The error lies not in the figures themselves, but in the misinterpretation of those prices by ignoring basic institutional and economic factors that could not possibly be reflected in them.
Keep reading.
Wages did not raise in line with prices because it was in the best interest of the merchants and land-owning classes to keep them low.
Hold up, man. Hold up, man. How you thinking we going through this bondage? We walking stupid, man. Why you thinking they making the movie Zombies? They talking about the people. And who be the ones killing them? It be the rich. They have their guns and stuff blowing all their heads off. Because people that are void of knowledge are subject to be oppressed.
That's right.
They are subject to live on the bottom. And they be the ones, and what I see with the older generation They the first one to bow head to Massa. And Massa is the system. Keep reading.
Their authority to set wages through the quarter sessions of the justices of the peace has already been discussed.
Jump down.
He pointed out that the wage rates were deliberately and ruthlessly set below the subsistence level because they knew the difference in the wages they set and the subsistence level would be made up by the supplements from the rates. The poor rates were, in effect, converted into a subsidy for landowners in as much as the lower wages rate meant more rent could be charged.
More what?
More rent could be charged to the tenant farmers.
Hold up, man. No matter what you're doing, man, they got control over everything.
That's right.
So when you thinking you peon in this world, you gonna make changes? Why we don't see a new line of restaurants jumping up around here?
Bring that out.
Why we don't see Big Mama Chicken in every ghetto? This is real talk. You know why? Because guess what they'll do? They'll make sure your business fails.
Right.
They'll send people up there to make sure that they complain, that they call in, that they send the health inspector in there, that you lose certain license. Y'all don't know who y'all dealing with, man. He's not gonna let you out the hole. See, some of you, matter of fact, go to page 70. See, I'm showing you how you make a slave. See, an indentured slave. Read that up.
The existence of such a large mass of poor was an indispensable instrument in the development of an indentured system in America.
Hold up. Was we set up? Or was we just giving the wrong information? This was a setup, man. Keep reading.
The rapid growth of the discern class can be summarized in 4 basic developments and their accompanying ripples. First, the perversion of the apprenticeship system to private gain.
Private gain. Do the corporation pay taxes around here?
Bring that out. Bring it out.
Read on.
Second, the development of wage control.
Hold up, we're going to make sure everybody don't make nothing around here. Keep reading.
Third, the enclosure movement caused by the need of an export goods. And 4, inflation because of the gold and silver inflow. The orbital theory of social structure broke down. The polarization of the orbital groups into 2, the wealthy and the masses.
Hold up. Ain't that the day? Where the middle class at?
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Y'all don't understand who we dealing with, man.
Bring it out.
This is why these Israelites, I'm not even responding to y'all this week, man. Matter of fact, give me the glove right quick, man. You know, the one that fold them up in the chair. I'm not dealing with y'all, man. This is why I'm not dealing with y'all today, man. Cause this is what this class is doing. Is hurting, ain't it? See, it's hurting. Finding out the true history. Keep reading,
The wealthy and the masses was still explained away within the framework of the scholastic philosophy as overpopulation.
Read on.
In the development of the indentured system, the scholastic philosophy was indispensable. It was not, however, an important factor in populating the colonies once the indentured system was perfected.
Hold up, that was perfecting this before they sent us over here. See, we're not from Africa. That's the lie that they sold us.
Bring it out.
See, that's the lie that they sold us. What language did we speak? Did anybody get it? Can we get some verification, some verification on this? Can we get some proof that we came in over here speaking uku duka aku? Because I don't know what they speak over there, man. Can we get some information of what language we spoke? See, I'm gonna show y'all that the ship captains could speak to the indentions. See, y'all gonna find out, man, this is all one big lie. But go to 74. Read that.
Even from the beginning, the lure and hopes of quick fortunes were not much of a motivating factor.
Hold up. What would be the motive factor of people selling that dope, jumping into the rap game? It's nothing new under the sun, man. They play the games on us, man. Keep reading.
Many of the new recruits sent by the Virginia Company after its reorganization in 1609 chose the company's offer of wages rather than a share in the land and profits after a 7-year indenture. It was not until after the colonies had become well established in the 18th century that the...
Hold up. well established in the 18th century, 1700s.
That's right.
Read.
That the milk and honey.
Hold on, what did they call this place?
Milk and honey.
Read on.
Urge played an important role in the peopling of the colonies.
Read on.
And even then, they had to be duped.
Hold on, what happened to the people?
Had to be duped.
The same game they running on you today, man.
Bring it out.
The land of milk and honey. Read.
For most of the first century of colonial development, the greatest part of those colonists who found their way to American shores were either involuntary indentures or for some cause or another, the riffraff of the British Isles.
Hold on, what did they call them?
The riffraff of the British Isles.
Keep reading, man.
Or reluctant volunteers.
Oh, what?
Reluctant volunteers who have been duped and seduced by propaganda of various sources.
Give me page 84, man. Let me tell you something, man. It's dealing with our mind, man. We got to start thinking. Read this for 84.
The use of these broadsides spread all over the British Islands.
This hustling game that they've been pulling on us, read.
And even to the heart of Europe, including Switzerland.
Even in Switzerland, read.
As long as the overpopulation theory of the philosophers was dominant,
keep reading.
It was not necessary to recruit beyond Britain.
Read on.
These recruiters, who came to be known as Crimson Spirits, in England hired pipers and drummers to attrace attention. Equipped with armfuls and broadsides, they combed all of the British islands in search of recruits. They were particularly active during the rural fairs, dressed in the finest manner.
Hey, how you see them on TV? They dressed in the finest manner. Read.
Possibly to convey an idea of affluence. They represented themselves as prosperous planters returned to recruit others to join them in a land flowing with milk and honey.
Hey, man, this game been ran on us so long, man. We tired of this game, man. Land flowing with milk and honey.
Crazy.
See, y'all thinking this, you thinking this just started? Give me 71 and 72. I'm gonna go ahead and get that out of the way too. I'm gonna get all of it so I can go back to the scripture, man. We're gonna have a feast today. 71 and 72, man. I'm just showing y'all, man, this information. And let me tell you something. It's been redacted from a lot of different books. And why we don't know none of this stuff? You got 71? That's okay. I'm going to let it read it from the book. Read that.
A systematic solution to the overpopulation of England. By the time the colonies had developed enough to serve as such a dumping grounds for the surplus laborers.
Surplus laborers, read.
The English Civil War had taken place and the mercantilist doctrines were replacing those of the schoolmen.
Let me tell you something about these wars, man. These wars to go to make slaves. That's what these wars, that's what they were fighting for, man. They go bringing one economy down. What happened to their people? They spread into other countries. Just like you see everybody coming here. You thinking they housing them for free? You thinking they gonna get them? They gonna enjoy that? See, y'all don't know the game, man. They go and suppress these countries so these peoples can come flood here. They just say it's still indentured servitude. They thinking they coming to a land of progress. They coming to a land where they're going to regress in their mind. They're going to lose their culture. They're going to lose everything that they had gained. And some of it was BS anyway. Jump down.
On one hand, mercantilism demanded that the necessitous poor be kept in England for exploitation by the merchant manufacturers.
The merchant manufacturer. Read this page 72. Read that right quick. Listen at this.
The resolving of the problem of cheap labor at home and the profit derived from supplying and populating the colonies had a most profound effect upon American colonial development.
Listen at this.
The shift in the search for immigrants for the colonies from England itself to Europe, especially Germany.
Hold up, nobody told us they had Germany slaves over here.
Yeah.
Read.
Ireland.
Hold up. Ireland, read.
And Scotland.
Scotland, read.
Determined the development of a new breed of people.
So they know we intermingling. Read.
The amalgamation of these races, along with the Dutch.
Hold up. The Dutch were slaves here? Read.
Swiss.
Read on.
Swedes.
Read.
Huguenots. And the others became the American people.
Say, man, nobody. See, they told us that these people, these so-called white folk were coming over, and that was the majority of slaves. I'm going to be bringing this out. Man. See, we need to know history. Matter of fact, give me page 110. Let's go to 110, man. so we can get through with this class. See, did y'all know they had the death penalty back then? Did anybody know that they had child support? Somebody don't know these things, man. Did you know that the people sold their children? Did you know that they put iron collars on the necks? Did you know some of us were sold to the Indians? Did you know that the so-called white man couldn't vote here until 1830 under Andrew Jackson? So I tell you, man, we got scholars running around all over the state of Texas and America and don't know nothing, man. Read this right quick, 110.
Back renting.
Hold up,
Back renting by the English absentee landlords further worsened that already deplorable conditions of the Irish. Rents were raised as much as double and triple on leases around 1720. Those who would not pay were evicted.
Man, ain't nothing new under the sun, man. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Ain't nothing new under the sun.
That's right.
It's nothing new, man. It's just what's the problem is, our people don't want to let go of the system. This is a system, man. This is right now, the scriptures, that's why I compare it to penitentiary. Where can we go? So I'm going to be bringing this all out, man, because the people that wanted to come to America couldn't even afford it. So they had to sign contracts. Do you got them old contracts out? See, we'll be bringing it out.
I got them in the...
So they had to sign contracts to come over here and work for a certain man for 7 to 14 years.
That's right.
That's what's your slavery right there. I'm going to bring it all out to you, man. I'm going to bring it out. Revelation 17 and 5.
Yeah, I got some of them right here.
Bring it up there, man. This is what these indentured servitudes right here, man. These are these contracts that they were signing. Give me another one. That go one right there. Some of them handwritten. Give another one. Look at here, man. They had to come over here and sign contracts to work because they couldn't afford it. And once they got them over here, they oppressed them because they couldn't get back home. Where you going? Now look who's there. There go Becky right there. See? Keep going. Make that bigger right there. Can you see that, Shim?
Says wanted.
Yeah. Let's see. To go.
A young man who something Latin, Greek, and mathematics.
No, it say to go to Virginia and enslave indentured for a few years. Well, it's a young man who, I can't see that word, Latin, Greek,
and mathematics. That's 5, a tutor in a gentleman's family.
Where's the black part? It's not there, man. Keep going. Look at here. Read that. Can you see that one?
It just arrived in York River, the brilliant Captain Miller from London, with a cargo of choice, healthy indentured servants, the sale of which will begin at Richmond Town on Wednesday, the 25th of May, among whom are following tradesmen, blacksmith, bribers, edge tool makers, bricklayers.
Don't that sound like that book Babylon that took back too?
Yes, sir. Cloth weavers, stock weavers, barbers, gardeners, farmers, laborers, husbandmen, bookkeepers, tailors, bakers, painters, sawyers, butchers, stewards, surgeons.
Let's go to the next one, man. Yeah.
Crazy.
What that one say? That's just letting you know that's what's here. See, you don't when you type slavery up, this is not gonna pop up. Who's that guy walking with the things on his shoulder? Who's the one washing over there? Keep going. There go another contract. Keep going. We're gonna get into this later. Keep going. Look at that. Who getting their back beat in? Keep going. See, listen, pull this one up right here. This is John Punch. I don't know if I brung this out last week. Make it bigger. Read that, Shim.
John Punch, James Gregory, and a man named Victor were all indentured servants, contracted
Hold up. I thought he was a slave. Keep reading.
contracted to Virginia planter Hugh Gwynn. These three men each performed similar tasks as slaves, and each also felt so exploited he was willing to take unimaginable risks to pursue freedom. John, James, and Victor ran away and were captured within days. Though fleeing similar circumstances, the fates of the runaways differed under the court's aegis. A judge sentenced all three to whippings. He then added 4 years to the indentured term of James and Victor, both white European, John a black man. Alone he condemned to lifelong servitude.
So you understand how they treat your skin, man? Revelation 17:5, man.
Revelation chapter 17 and verse 5.
Read on.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery.
Nobody knows nothing here, man. Why you say mystery? Because everything we've been taught is lies. Read.
Babylon the Great.
This is what controls the whole world. Read.
The mother of harlots.
The mother of harlots. Read.
And abominations of the earth.
Give me 1st, 2nd Thessalonians, man, 2 and 7. See, man, y'all know the mother class, they're gonna be juicy, man. Bring your popcorn. Read this.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who not let it will let, until he be taken out of the way.
You understand? If you don't know, you're going to be taken out of the way, man. You don't know, it's easily to get caught in the flow. Read.
And then shall that wicked be revealed.
See, when you bringing this truth out, they got to be revealed how they've been holding us in this system for so long. Read.
Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
The word, read.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
They're going to know we are awakened. We out here teaching this truth. We out here trying to build our people back spiritually. But they refusing the Lord because, man, the silver and gold look good, man. It look good, man. It'll fool you. Because it might be 14K fake. Read up.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
And what?
And lying wonders.
And lying wonders. Revelation 17:6, man. Y'all don't know who y'all dealing with, man. And John is prophesying about this destruction that was going to be coming on our head. Read this up.
Revelation chapter 17 and verse 6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints.
And see how, look at this place, man. Look at our daughters, man. Look at these children around here with straight bullets killing children. You know, you find people throwing their children in the lake, man. You finding old men raping little babies. It's crazy around here.
That's right.
And still people want to hold on until it happened to their child. See, then it's not good no more. But the Lord warning y'all to come up under that protection. Stay up under. Because when it's raining here, it's poison. Keep reading.
And with the blood of the martyrs of Christ.
Read on.
And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
I wonder, why do our peoples want to stay here? Why do they keep holding on to some that is not going to profit them? Why they can't come together? Colossians 2 and 8. Why they can't come together, man, and love each other? Why they can't do the things that I asked them to do? You know why? Because the devil still controls their thoughts. Read up.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8.
Read.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy.
Let me tell you something. The wisdom of this world, that's what y'all been spoiled through. The lies. The lies that was importing slavery over slaves from Africa over here. Let me ask you this. Pull up me one of them transatlantic slave trade. Let me show you something right quick. See, this is what they're not going to show you. But read up.
And vain deceit.
And this is where they mislead you. Read.
After the tradition of men.
They're going to teach you what their forefathers had taught. Read.
After the rudiments of the world.
Read on.
And not after Christ.
None of these things come after Christ. You got me one? The route. Let me show you something. Give me a route. Just give me the one right there, the brown one right there next to it. Then you can bring that one up. Make it a little bigger. It don't matter. Now show me where the ship's coming out of Switzerland. Show me where the ships coming out of Great Britain. Show me where the ships coming out of any of those countries. Show me where them ships coming from. See, imagery, man, is total devastation on our people. And I'm going to show you. I got the proof that none of these coasts was really slave was coming off of them. This is how you indoctrinate sick people. What they do, they in turn make people sicker. Because who pushing this lie? Why don't the Israelites got their own proof of where these ships was coming from? Why do all our information have to come from the enemy? Where did they get this from? See, I'm gonna show you. They was coming out of these countries. See, it was a system to indoctrinate them. But I know it's heavy. Revelation 17:7. I know it's heavy, man. To all your thinking that you was from Africa. Your whole life, you've been thinking that you and your parents come from Africa. Come on, man. We eat anything. We drink out that cup all day like it ain't nothing. Read up.
Revelation chapter 17 and verse 7. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel?
Read.
I will tell thee the mystery of the woman.
Who telling us the mystery of this place, man? Where we finding these things out?
Bring it out.
Who teaching us some truth around here? Not these camps, man. They all caught up in lies. They all drinking out the devil's cup, man. Read.
And of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns.
They the one in power, man. What doctrine we don't showed you through the spirit of the Most High giving y'all, showing you how they took the libraries and went in these countries and destroyed them all and gave you your history. But we don't want to stand up. Read up.
The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on earth shall wonder whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is.
Let me show you something. Give me Exodus 17:8. See, because they tell you they're going to round up all the so-called white folks and put them, what scripture's that?
Bring it out.
We're going to burn them all off the planet.
Bring it out.
I'm telling you, man, sick brothers out here, man. You got sick brothers on these corners, and you got them on these, you know, and one thing that I do, let me tell you something. So you come in on these fights, I check them all. I check all the teaching. I'm going to come to your page, sister. I'm going to see what you doing, other than running your mouth. See, I come research. And don't put your name too close to your Facebook. I have your picture next. You better ask Mike Jones how we work up in this camp. We work as a family, man. Brothers will go research you, man. Read that.
Exodus chapter 17 and verse 8.
Read.
Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on top of the hill with the rod of God in my hand.
Read on the word, read.
So Joshua did as Moses had said to him and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, and the one on the one side and the other on the other side. And his hands were steady unto the going down of the sun. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword.
Keep reading.
And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua.
Read.
For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
Read.
And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Javonis.
Let me tell you something. See, Amalek know their name not written in the book of life, man. This is the only nation out of Edom name not written in the book of life. Not the whole nation of the so-called. See, these so-called black Edomites, some of them could be white. We don't know. It's just the spirit. But they come from dark skin. See, because they thinking, you know, Genesis 25 means a so-called white man, but they got no precept to prove it. Give me Isaiah 14 and 12. Man, y'all got the arrow. Read that out.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
How do you bring down a great nation like this? Do we do it with guns? See, because they hollering, the Lord is a man of war. So if he give us guns, we're going to go get ate up. Because some of the brothers ain't going to shoot.
Facts.
Some of them don't have that big baby spirit.
Facts.
Big baby say, I shoot. Big baby got killed, didn't he? We can't be sending these kind of peoples out to fight for us, man. We got to fight with the only thing we got is knowledge. Keep reading.
Son of the morning.
Son of the morning. These are the ones that everybody wake up to. Read.
How art thou cut down to the ground?
How are they cut down to the ground? Read.
Which didst weaken the nation?
How do you weaken nations? You rob them of their knowledge. And you teach them what you want them to think.
That's right.
Killing somebody, man, they died with their knowledge. Why do you thinking they always talking about the women's and children? They always try to kill off the leaders.
That's right.
That's what y'all gonna find out in the truth. And just like you watch the algorithm on YouTube, type in our video, look up our video, you're gonna see all them other camps, but you're not gonna see ours no more. They know who in the truth, who following the Most High and the Son. They know not who. They know these things. See, we just don't know them because we see numbers. We thinking that's somebody. Nah, that's a danger. Take my word. Read.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
See, the stars of God is us. Read.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
So these guys thinking this is talking about going into space or something. Read.
In the sides of the north.
Read on.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
See, they say, who teach us everything? Who indoctrinate us into everything? They want to be like the Most High. Let me tell you something. When something happens, who comes in? Superman, don't it? And they love Superman.
Right now.
They love a hero, man.
That's right.
But they don't love Christ. See, Christ don't operate in this spirit of want to be lording over the flock.
That's right.
Read.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell.
Captivity, read.
To the sides of the pit.
Lower state, read.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee.
They gonna see you, read.
And consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
How do you thinking they talking about nuclear bombs, man? How do you make the earth tremble, man? You rob people of their natural resources. You rob people of everything. Why are you thinking you got the people going around here with these Puerto Rican flags, these Mexican flags? How? Do you know that is some totality hurtful sight to see? For peoples to be worshiping Cinco de Mayo Day. Juneteenth is another fake holiday. See, most people don't even know when Texas was even established as a state. And when did slavery end? Texas was established in 1845. Slavery ended in 1860 something. So how long was there? How many slaves had they imported here to where they didn't learn about the truth for 2 years? It's all stage doctrines, man, to push on the peoples, to give them hope. How do you want to go worship being a slave? Keep reading,
That did shake kingdoms.
Shake kingdoms, read.
That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof.
Destroyed the peoples, man, who they come from, what their customs was, read.
That opened not the house of his prisoners.
Don't open the house of his prisoners, man. Give me Isaiah 45, 47, and 6. Show you how he did it. Read this up.
Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 6. I was wroth with my people.
Read on.
I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand.
He polluted us by giving us into their hands. Read.
Thou didst show them no mercy.
No mercy, man. Read.
Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
Man, let me tell you something, man. From the Greeks on all the way to today, man. Read.
And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever.
I'm gonna be that woman forever. Read.
So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
They didn't anticipate that they're gonna have to fall soon. But read.
Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures,
Read on.
that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am.
I am thy God. I am thy Lord. Read.
And none else beside me.
And no other God beside me. Read.
I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Read on.
But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day.
That's like, you comparing it to 1,000 years. Read.
The loss of children.
The what?
The loss of children.
Read on.
And widowhood.
Ain't y'all seeing these things, man? Read.
They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries.
Things are increasing more and more, more and more and more and more. Read.
And for the great abundance of thine enchantment.
This is where you get your David Blaine's, man. You get your television. This is here was for, and Doc TV is one of the most powerful tools on the planet.
Right now.
That television, man.
Bring it out. That's
how you get televangelists. You got all these Christianity church state channels, man. All they do is sing and that's what they want you to do. They teach us this is worshiping Christ. Read.
For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness.
Read on.
Thou hast said, none seeth me.
Read on.
Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am.
I am a God. Read.
And none else beside me.
None else beside me. Read.
Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments.
Where are you gonna go to your wise man to speak to? Who they speaking to for? Where you gonna get them to pull you out of this? Where you going? Read.
And with the multitude of thy sorcery,
read on,
wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if so be thou shalt be able to profit.
Matter of fact, go to Obadiah 1:8. Let's get out of here, man. I might have to bring some of that on, that sorceries later. Read this. Think about these things. Read this.
Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 8. Shall I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men of Teman shall be dismayed to the end, that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
That's going to happen with great destruction, man. Their kingdoms are going to start falling. See, we thinking this is killing people. These kingdoms that they control are going to start falling like dominoes. Read.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
This is their whole objective. Read.
Shame shall cover thee.
Read on.
And thou shalt be cut off forever.
And this is letting you know that they would never come back into power ever, 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 ever again.
Right.
So what I'm trying to show you, how they indoctrinated us into indentured servitude. And they doing the same thing. That's why you're seeing a lot of these Israelites running back to the world. Because they figuring like they can work on the Shabbat, they can come up. They figuring like they can do something extra and they gonna make it. It's all a trap, man.
That's right. Bring it out.
If y'all don't put Christ in front, ahead of everything else gonna fall. I guarantee you 100%.
That's right. Yeah.
I guarantee you 100%. Everything else is gonna evaporate right in front of your nose. Think about it. Name some peoples in our generation that are living Gucci. Family members. This here affect all of us.
That's right.
Some people might know how to hide it better, but this system affects us all.
That's right.
I'm telling y'all the truth, man. So I'm showing you how they set up everything to get the indentured servants to America. I'm gonna show you who was the indentured servants, and you know they come from all these so they pull no slaves from these countries. They come as immigrants. I'm gonna show you that the peoples on the Mayflower, majority of them were slaves. See, the Lord is giving me the information to bring to you, because I'd be like, how do I find this? Why do it come to my door? Slow.